T-Man 978 Shield Review.
Alright, I'm about to open this thing early, so here we go. Hello everyone, T-Man 978. Right now we're taking a look at Transformers Studio Series. Used to be 86, but the Transformers, the movie, Megatron. He's a leader class figure. And it looks depressingly empty in there for the price point. My box is covered in scrapes and dust like this thing has been sitting in a warehouse forever. And now they decided to just mail it out. We already know people had access to it way ahead of time, but I don't know how things work. Here's Megatron out of the packaging. And let me just get my biggest gripe out of the way right away so I can just have good things to talk about for the most part. My biggest problem with this thing is I have been collecting Transformers for too long. I've been collecting Transformers as an adult since 1998. I have seen a ton of things and I've lived through every price point. My biggest disappointing moment with this, or my feelings with this, is that box was really empty. This is a leader class toy, costs $15 more than leader class cost back in the early 2000s when leader class first started existing. It's like, not only is this thing like way smaller, it does not come with a lot of accessories. It doesn't even come with the accessories that something like the Fallen came with. The Fallen, I need to review this. I don't know why I haven't. He comes with a lot of accessories and effects pieces. And as you can see, he is like, I guess they're about the same height, but he is bulkier and has like as much articulation as this thing. And the transformation, I don't know if it's as complex, but this thing is hefty. So, and after the spectacle that this guy right here was, because it's commander class, they're about the same size and whatnot. It just feels like he comes with nothing for the price point. I know they try to stick to what they did in the movie, so you get this laser sword since you use that. He comes with a gun version of himself because he can't transform into a gun. And he has to have the fusion cannon and this gun barrel that always was on his back. I think he definitely should have had blast effects. He should have had a charging up effect, and he should have had a shooting effect. Like, it's no excuse why they didn't give us that. And he also used a little gun to shoot Optimus Prime with. They didn't include that. I feel like I have that gun somewhere with some other release, but I don't know where it is. And he should have come with the energy mace. Optimus came with the axe. He never used that in the movie. So, yeah. And he didn't have the contents of the trailer in the movie. But they gave you all that with the commander class. It was like they made a perfect shrunken down masterpiece version of Optimus Prime and just put it into Studio Series. But anywho, that's enough of that. I'm gonna have more comparisons and whatnot later. Here's Megatron. And one thing that I'm noticing in my review lights that I typically always notice, in Transformers, they don't typically use the color black in the plastic. This is like a very dark brown, and when I put it in these lights, I can really tell. The hands, by comparison, they do seem to be black, because they're definitely right now they're black, and this is a very dark brown, including the fusion cannon. While I'm zoomed in, you can see the hand and crotch color difference. When you're not in these type of lights, which are very bright LED, you probably wouldn't notice. Here is Megatron. He isn't plain, that plain ass gray plastic they use sometimes. It has like a hint of yellow in there. I can't describe it. So will this guy change colors over time? Hopefully not. But yeah. Here's the details. They tried to fill him in as much as possible. We do get the double mushroom pegs at the upper thigh. This is all filled in right here. This is all painted. Nice. You get the gun-like detail. Like this detail right here is, you know, it's treads. But that detail is on the back of Masterpiece Megatron's legs. The only obvious kibble from a tank is this right here. But he has this style detail on his character model. So he definitely looks good and looks the part. Before articulation, here is the fusion cannon. Now the way that's shaped, which is definitely different from his actual fusion cannon, it usually would be stopping like about right here. It's longer for the other mode that he becomes. And I feel like this should be wider. But of course that can turn around anywhere you have a port. You can port it on his back if you don't want him to be holding it. You should be able to. Let's see if I can port it in his hand. No, the peg isn't long enough. Sometimes in a cartoon it did look like he was holding it in his hand. But other areas where it looks like hollowness is right there. I'm shocked they didn't fill that in more. And right here. But on the side of his body, mostly filled in. Like, they do a good job of condensing a lot of parts from the tank inside of his body and inside of his legs. Here is this gun right here that he comes with. He can wield this though. There you go with that. In lieu of him not having that Blitzwing gun, or the gun that people assume is Blitzwing. And you get this energy sword, which can pop into the hand. Like that. Sheesh. That took some effort. Optimus Commander Class Optimus can actually hold this as well. So there you are with that. This can be stored on his back with the whole bleed. It's all one part. And we can use this, since the sword is there. You can plug all of this stuff on his back. Now this comes off, but it would have been cool if they put a 5mm port right here so that he could actually use that like he did on the cartoon and the G1 toy. But they didn't do that. If you want to make things weird or different, you can give him an extended cannon. He didn't come with this, but I bought that weaponizer Hasbro Pulse exclusive thing. I think it was Hasbro Pulse. I forgot. So I do have access to this. It is seeming to be a little bit too heavy for his elbow. Which, yeah. The elbows are strong enough to keep him in a pose. And I just dislodged his ball joint right here. The joints are strong enough to keep him in a pose, but they are not like crazy tight. Like well, as far as the elbow and the knees, they aren't crazy tight, but they're tight enough to keep him posed. Let's get into the posing while I'm talking about it. The head is on the ball joint. You can do this, and of course you can rotate and tilt side to side a little bit. If you disconnect his chest, we can get him to look down for like falling out of the sky poses right there. The shoulders can go out to there, You can rotate, bicep swivel, bend slightly more than 90. The hand can rock around in there. The fingers open up like in the Commander class. And where he has 3 fingers on a knuckle and another base knuckle. And the index finger, that's the same way. You do have a butterfly joint that comes forward. I don't know how useful it is, because you do bump into the chest right here, and it can go back a little bit. No ab crunch, but you do get waist swivel. I like this style crotch piece as far, or hip joint, so you can kick up slightly more than 90. You can kick back, and you can kick out to the side. This thing right here can move to the back. Thigh rotation, unhindered. You can bend a hair more than 90, to be honest. The foot can rock forward a lot. It can rock back realistically about that much before you're bumping into this. And you get ankle pivot. And the way things are sculpted, it doesn't leave like empty, ugly space. But yeah, I feel like he's more posable than Optimus, because his elbows bend more, the knees bend a little bit more. You definitely get more foot articulation. So it is way easier to get him into a pose, and he even kicks up higher than Optimus. So that's great. Here is Galvatron, and some people's comparisons, they look the same height, but he is definitely taller than Galvatron. Galvatron, I feel like, has more plastic and whatnot, and he's a little bit more beefy, but he is definitely taller than Galvatron. Here's my previous review. Thank you all for showing up for this. It's been a long time since one of my videos got the views that I think I should be getting, like bare minimum, or I wish I would be getting bare minimum. So yeah, that was fun. And here's this comparison until we finally get updated. We already know they have a new Seeker. I've been hearing rumors of a new Soundwave. Please, it doesn't take that much effort at all to make a Soundwave. And they could redo Shockwave at any point.
Who the heck is that guy, Starscream?
I think she's from Gobatron or something.
You guys let anything happen in my absence.
But anywho, transformation. Let's see if I can remember this. It said 52 steps on the box, but I took the fusion cannon off. I took this off. And basically with the fusion cannon, we need to open that up, and there's a double hinge that can rock forward. And we can take this barrel that is fully extended and place it into there, set that to the side. The hands need to be like that, with the fingers like balled up. There's a panel that can open up right here, and unlike some other Transformers, there's a genuine peg there. They don't want it being loose. You flip the hand in there, you can rotate this, put this like that, and angle it like this, I believe. If not, we'll fix that later. Put this hand in, rotate that, and angle it like that. All right. Now we can rotate the waist before I forget that. These flaps can go out and do this right here. Gonna leave that like that for now. And these shoulders, there's kind of like a tab back there that keeps things in there. So I'm gonna like rotate it and then pop it out. Rotate that and pop it out. That happened way easier than the first time I did it. Well, we did that. I'm going to like loosen this up, which loosens this up, and that can come forward. we can get this out the way, or out here, and bring this out, flip the head in. Well, actually, before we flip the head in, let's bring this out, and then bring this out. This can spin around before I forget. The arms can go out this way, but now we should have enough room to rotate this in like that. And there's a peg hole right there that goes into this peg. There we are. And now we can, on all of these, this is what helps is butterfly joints. We can get basically this into that orientation, and we need to make this one match up with it. Alright. Now we need to get these pegs on the back of his legs into a hole on the back of this hip skirt thingy. If you can do that right, come on. There we are. And now there is a little hole right here, and there's a little tab right there. Let's see if I can zoom in on that. There we go. There's a tab in there. It should, when you get it past about this point, it should just go in there anyway, but we have it looking like this. And now let's lift up this, lift up that, and we can bring the foot back to peg into there. Bring the foot back, peg into there, and just leave it like that for now. We can detach this, bring this out, but we can start spinning this around, and at this point we can just groove this up into place. No, don't do that yet. Don't do that yet. Sorry. We need to open this first. Then we can pull that out. Open this up. Pull that out. Shut that. Now we can groove this into place. And there is a tab here that goes into there. Tab there that goes into there. And the tab that goes behind this. Start pushing things where they need to be. Oh no. Yeah, just make sure you have everything pegged. I had to cut out some footage because I didn't have it like going in line, but I lined it up. Basically everything I showed you is what you're supposed to do. Bring this out. Bring this up so we can open this up. Open this so we can get this piece out. Shut that. Open this so we can get this piece out. Shut that and push this all the way up. Same deal. Line up this peg on the side of the leg first. That's the easiest. Then there's one that goes into the red part on the side. No, not the red part. Like above the red part. And then one that grooves into there. Good to go. Here, we need to like groove this up. Wait, let me. Back here, there is a little. Let's see if I can focus on it. There's a tiny notch right there. When we bend this, it leaves a little space right here. We basically need to fold this up into position right there. Do the same thing over here. Get that going. And now we can rotate this down and that down and bend the feet up under there. And the gun. The gun, probably could have put this on a long time ago. We can just basically take this section and wrap it around this. And then there are pegs that actually go into the side of the arm. And for the record, the way I turned the arms earlier, correct, because the pegs are where they need to be. But now he is a tank that I believe is based on some type of prototype that never got used. At least that's the rumor or whatever. It does have rolling wheels right there and right here, and these wheels are perfectly covered in robot mode, so that's awesome. It can roll, but on my surface right here, it mostly slides. It has the functionality of being able to turn here, but it is very off center. Can it lift up? It can lift up a little bit, but not really. You can put his gun right here to make him doubly vicious. And you can store this wherever. I'm gonna put it on the side right here. I honestly don't feel like transforming any of those comparisons. Here's this comparison. That's what he looks like. Not as long as Optimus. Not as tall, probably wide. Let's do it separately. No, it's longer depending on if you include the fusion cannon. But pretty close. I think Optimus is probably heavier. But why guess? Optimus by himself with the only thing he has is the Matrix is 7.9 ounces. This is him and all of his accessories. 7.4. So Optimus is heavier without any accessories besides the Matrix. Here's Ultra Magnus, my previous chill review. And you're welcome for the people that like Transformers. I have not been on a streak like this with Transformers in a minute, but I've acquired several back to back. Here you are. I have a bunch of G.I. Joe stuff that I need to do, and I think Action Force and something else. Just stay tuned. I'm gonna try to start doing more Transformers more often, at least once a week at least. Here is Starscream holding this gun, and I forgot something. The one on the left, this is the one that came with Leader Megatron, and this is the one that came in that multi-pack with the weaponizer. I don't know. This one looks more like a flat cartoony gun. This one looks like they try to modernize it. You can even see like they have like the little safety detail and all that stuff. But they're both cool, to be honest. But this tank pretty much is what it is. It's cool to me, I guess. It's cool that they were able to get that Megatron to change into this. It's nuts. It's like this stuff almost comes out of nowhere, to be honest with you. So I do think that's cool. What I don't like is how it rotates off center. But even when it does that, there's still a lot of detail under there. Now, this part right here definitely looks unfinished. So that sucks. I like that they do have wheels because they don't always like doing that. So it's just cool enough. I'm probably not going to have him as a tank often anyway, because he barely transformed in a cartoon. And it's cool that they gave you this gun. You can always just pretend that this gun is him. So that's cool. Anywho, reverse transformation, because I love y'all. Anywho, I'm taking all of this off all of the accessories basically. Taking all the accessories off, we can go ahead and unaccordion that. All the accessories are to the side right now. The feet, we are going to bring this out, bring this up. You can get this up like that. Bring this up. Like, grab these and basically pull it away. Pull it away. And this can just sit up like that for now. Well, we can go ahead and detab this stuff on this side. Grab this, rotate that around, open this up. They give you just enough of a groove to put your fingernail on there, in there. Shut this, shut that. Open this, shut that, shut this. Now we can fold that up and go ahead, and this little tab goes into that little hole and you cover the wheel. It's on a double hinge. Now we can rotate this up and peg that into there. Go ahead and peg this onto here and bring the foot back. Same deal over here. Gonna open this. Oh, that's shut. That's by accident. Wow, that's pretty closed. What the heck? Oh no. Wow, that did not want to open and caused me some extra time. Bring this down. Open that up. Shut this. Shut that. Open this up. Shut this. Shut that. Close this. Bring this over the wheel and peg in. There we go. Peg this peg into that hole. And bring this in. Yeah, if there's any other complaint, this right here doesn't really tab. So I'm going to suggest putting some floor polish, crazy glue, super glue, and thicken that up. Now we can dislodge this. We can bring the legs down, bring these out to the side, bring this out to the side, but bring that down. We can rotate this. We can fold this under before we do anything else. We can rotate the head back this way, bring this up to meet that, and bring that down. It doesn't tab, and clip this in. This clip tabs everything together. So now, how was this? This was rotated like this. I'm going to untab all of this. The arms need to be reversed this way. We need to rotate it that way. Pull this under. Pull. Make sure it's straight. Good night. Yeah. Pull that all under there. Alright, now we need to rotate this, and I'm just gonna force that in there, to be honest. It's in there. Rotate this forward. Here's a problem. There's a little tab right there blocking, but that's supposed to hold this one into place. If it comes forward, it's going to definitely stop you from being able to get this into the cavity. But you pretty much just got to force that peg into there. But, oh yeah, before I grab the fusing cannon, we need to open this up. Rotate it this way. Get the hands out. Shut that. Now we can put your fusion cannon on, sir. We can open this up, open that up, open this up, rotate it this way because you have clearance that way with this. Peg that together. Grab this deal with this right here. You need to point it in that direction and do this. And now let's see how late o'clock it is. That's 2 a.m. Oh boy. My daughter was over here, so I spent like a significant amount of time with her and finding all these comparisons. Oh boy. Thank you for watching this. Got it off of Amazon. Until next time, T-Man978 out of here.
Figure action.
Join the Syndicate Toy Hunters Facebook group. Link in the description. Click the videos. Click the videos, baby. Click the videos. You should really click these videos. Click the videos.